Hello and welcome to Vision Denial. My name is Sam and this is Road to MSI and Meet the Teams. If you're new to this particular channel, I've watched every single playoff game of all the regions participating in MSI * Winter Playoff. I did not watch an LEC for a variety of reasons I've already covered in other videos. Today, or in this video particularly, we're going to be talking about GAM Esports, the face of the VCS, who continuously qualify for nearly every single one of these international tournaments. Last year notwithstanding, because they gave up their slot to participate in the Olympics or in the Southeast Asian Games. If you're wondering for any of the stats that I've got going, I'll link them down below. There's some limitations with the LPL, but that withstanding, let's get started with... Let's meet the coaching staff and their play style. Hankai, the on and off support / coach, joined GAM as a substitute support player at the end of Season 11 before becoming head coach by the time Season 13 starts. Taking a look at GAM, you would be hard-pressed to see some pretty solid stuff, but mostly around the middle of the pack approach. Third in game duration and fourth in Drakes and Heralds, as well as fifth in plates, second in kills. A lot of these particular early game stats look good until you look at first bloods and first turrets, holding 11th, nearly last at that point. And you'd be weirded out to look at the situation and realize, oh yes, GAM is slow to start in the early game, but as things get going and they slowly gain their leads over and over, then they press and end games incredibly quickly. Meet GAM's top laner, Kaya. This top laner has been part of GAM since the end of Season 8, swapping between mid and top lane as a particular role. And amongst top laners, he's fairly solid, above average for the most part, except in two notable factors, which is gold per minute and damage per minute. 7th in KDA, 7th in kill participation, 5th in kill share and gold share, and 3rd in CS per minute. He's fairly self-sufficient, and when particularly facing off against him, you should beware. He will force the issue. This particular top laner is not the team fight focused player you may want, but is a lane and skirmished focused player nonetheless. If not paid attention to, he will find a way to continuously force the issue until attention is brought his way. He tops the charts in damage and gold for a reason, and that's because he's effective at splitting up opponents. Let's meet GAM's jungler, Levy. This renowned jungler started in the tail end of Season 5 and joined GAM in Season 6 before jumping to 100 Thieves and JD Gaming, and then returning back to GAM at the tail end of Season 9 and has been there since. Now comparing him, he is a fairly stacked jungler. 6th in KDA, but 3rd in CS per minute, 3rd in gold per minute, 4th in kill participation, 6th in damage per minute, 2nd in kill share, 3rd in gold share, so on and so forth. He is above average and roughly around 3rd or 4th in terms of stats around the board. He boasts an incredible performance pushing towards neutrals and lanes to get as many people ahead while he has control. And honestly, his stats look great, but in a region with so much lack of competition, it wouldn't surprise me if he struggled to keep up these numbers against some of the other junglers that are joining in this particular tournament. Let's meet the mid laner of GAM Esports, Katsi. Kani, this particular mid laner, made his debut in Season 8 with various teams before joining GAM in Season 11. Amongst the other mid laners, he's 5th in KDA, 7th in CS per minute, 7th in gold per minute, 6th in damage per minute, 1st in kill participation, but 12th in kill share, and 10th in gold share with a fairly average champion pool. This above average mid laner shines in his ability to team fight and provide for his team, where the individual skirmishes is not quite there. He provides a lot of utility and plays mostly utility champs, which means that the rest of his team can excel, even as he is given not as much of a gold share as what his contemporaries would have. I'd keep an eye on him. He may not be the one that shines through and outdoes other mid laners 1v1, but he will be a nuisance. Let's meet the bot laner of GAM Esports, Style. This particular bot laner made his debut in Season 10 with the Buffaloes before joining GAM in Season 11. Amongst his other bot laners, he feels fairly below average in a lot of remarks. 12th in KDA, 8th in CS per minute, 8th in gold per minute, 7th in damage per minute, 6th in kill participation, 12th in kill share, 11th in gold share, and tied for 10th in champion pool. He's fairly average for the most part, but his stats show a very under average. He's serviceable and helps the team in team fighting ability, but nothing should be expected as outstanding from Style, who has a habit of poor positioning and over-aggression. The damage is there, but he is not the linchpin of the team. Keep that in mind as you look over. You might see him be just a little questionable. Let's meet the support of GAM Esports, Zin. Starting his career in Season 6 as a bot laner and switching over to support in Season 10, having been in and out of GAM Esports with a fairly successful role transition. Amongst other supports, he's 8th in KDA, 10th in kill participation, 4th in kill share, and 10th in gold share, whilst also being a little under average in terms of the vision play. 7th in vision score and 8th in vision denial with the rest of his team. A very aggressive play style enables the team quite a lot, but his overzealous play from him bites them often, especially as a team's vision itself is fairly subpar. The team fighting helps quite a bit, but I wouldn't expect much from this particular support player, given, again, as mentioned, his overzealous play and sometimes questionable movement around the map. All in all, it's GAM Esports. We know GAM Esports in terms of their proficiency at really taking over the VCS and every so often coming in and being really explosive in international scenes, but that's just it. They're an overzealous and aggressive team fighting team, and it really reflects heavily in their KDA and neutral scores. They got away with a lot as a fast team, being in a region with very little competition, but as the bad vision habits, overzealous play, and lack of late gameplay overall, it makes me feel like they may not be able to handle the best of 5 portion very well, let alone if they're even going to make it to that portion of the tournament with other teams that play a much better vision game and have stronger understanding of neutral objectives. It's mostly a habit of will their wild and adventurous play, as well as their habit of being really clever, come through in this international tournament, or will their bad habits bite in them with the butt? You'd let me know. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. Do you think that GAM will come back and still be that same GAM that everybody knows? Or is this going to be one of those years where they are underwhelming and not much can be said about it? I'd love to hear your thoughts. And with that, thank you everybody for watching, and I'll see you next time at MSI. Bye. Thank you again for watching. Greatly appreciated. These kinds of videos take quite a bit of time. If you're interested, we've got over here more videos about the other teams that have qualified for MSI. And if you're curious about the process in which I've watched every single playoff, here's a playlist of the road itself to MSI. If you have any particular thoughts, comments, or predictions, I'd love to hear those things down below. And if you care to, right below over here, this little button, you can click on it and subscribe. Thank you.